Before the world even knew his name, Neymar Jr. was already bending the narrative of football with his feet. A teenager on the streets of Mogi das Cruzes, flicking the ball around defenders.
Neymar. Facilidade do Neymar. Levitando o jogador do Santos. Aí o Neymar. Protegeu. Fez o drible. Que lance do Neymar! Que golaço!
Playing with audacity, as though every dribble whispered, "Watch me." By the time he was 17, he wasn't just another rising talent. He was a promise looming, a question mark turning into quiet confidence. From Santos to Europe, Neymar's trajectory glowed with possibility. At Santos, he dazzled. By his late teens, he was already headlining matches. When Barcelona signed him in 2013, the world leaned in. They were picturing him as part of football's living history. In the MSN era, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, he was the youthful spark, the one whose tricks unsettled defenses, whose pace could break rigid lines, whose flair made matches feel unpredictable. Yet, for all that shine, the harder question remained: was he ever truly in his prime? Not just momentarily brilliant, but sustainably dominant. His early years in La Liga seem like the beginning of that prime. In matches where he scored when needed, created chances from nothing, drifted between wings and central channels, combined seamlessly with Messi and Suarez. Those nights he looked like the one who could carry the weight. In the 2014-15 season, Neymar's contribution was electric. Nearly 40 goals and decisive assists, forming a key part of Barcelona's treble run. He scored in semi-finals and finals. He wasn't just filling a role, he looked like the kind of player who could define matches. But a prime is not just flash, it's consistency, impact under pressure, durability across seasons. That's where Neymar's story becomes more complex. As the years rolled on, injuries attacked. Muscle strains, metatarsal fractures, ligament setbacks. He missed matches that mattered. He invited skepticism. A footballer cannot be in full prime while his body is a question mark. In international tournaments, the burden grew heavier. In some World Cups or Copa Americas, he wasn't fully fit. He carried the weight of expectation as much as the ball, and expectation can bruise more deeply than defenders. As time passed, his style shifted. The audacious dribbles gave way to more measured decision-making. The burst-recover-burst rhythms evolved into clever movement, scanning space, conserving energy. In later seasons, Neymar wasn't sprinting past defenders at will. He was finding angles, linking play, timing runs. That evolution is natural. Age demands it, but it also means his explosive traits dimmed. Some say he traded flair for longevity. Maybe, but trade-offs make how we view his peak more nuanced. Now, place him next to his contemporary legends. Messi's prime isn't a fixed point, it's a continuum. Ronaldo's prime reinvented itself. They stretched greatness beyond arbitrary years. Neymar's prime felt sharp, bright and brief, while others built eras. His apex was like a lightning strike across a dark sky. Brilliant, beautiful, unforgettable, but also ephemeral. What should define a true prime? For me, 3 pillars: dominance across domestic, continental, and international stages, clutch performances under highest stakes, semi-finals, finals, knockout matches, and consistency across seasons, not just sporadic brilliance. Neymar came close. He flirted with all 3, but seldom held all at once. So, when do I argue Neymar was truly in his prime? My pick: 2015 to 2017. That window aligns youth, health, influence, visibility. Before the injuries piled, before expectations became chains, before pressure forced his game's mutation. That was his moment to define his myth. After 2017, cracks began. Absences, tactical constraints, physical tolls. But it doesn't end there. That prime isn't a cliff, it's a mountain slope. He descended, yes, but also adapted. The later Neymar isn't lesser, he's wiser. A veteran who understands timing, when to dribble, when to hold, when to burst. He's less theatrically wild, more surgically precise. That's his second nature. His international run adds visceral weight. He's Brazil's second all-time top scorer. In 2016, he led Brazil to Olympic gold, a trophy Brazil had doggedly wanted. He carried massive pressure. In 2014, he was Brazil's brightest hope, until that heartbreaking injury against Colombia. The image of Neymar stretchered off remains haunting. Brazil collapsed 7-1 to Germany without him in the next match. That moment is more than a footnote. It's a pivot in how his legacy is read. In 2019, Brazil won Copa America without him, fueling debates. Was Neymar truly essential or symbolic? In 2021, Brazil reached the final and lost to Argentina. Neymar cried. He gave everything. But in football, giving is sometimes not enough. Then came PSG. The €222 million move in 2000, Neymar wanted to step out of Messi's shadow, lead a team, build his own empire. Early seasons were scintillating. Spectacular goals, exquisite dribbles, creativity. But injuries stalked his path. The 2018 metatarsal break, recurring foot issues. The timing always cruel. Champions League outings became heartbreak after heartbreak. Liverpool, United, Bayern, matches where PSG faltered, sometimes without Neymar fully fit. In the 2019-20 Champions League run, Neymar was the man. He dragged PSG through adversity, scored, assisted, created, penetrated. Though PSG fell short in the final to Bayern, Neymar's tears afterwards spoke volumes. Moments matter. He had them, but not always when the stakes were highest. In many of Neymar's defining seasons, specific matches felt like declarations. Barcelona versus PSG 2017, that free kick dancing past defenders. PSG versus Manchester United 2019, orchestrating, dragging defenders out of shape. Those matches weren't just stat lines, they were mission statements. And when a performance carries narrative weight, that's part of prime. Quotes solidify that narrative. Coaches, teammates, pundits, they help craft a legend. Luis Enrique praised Neymar's fearlessness in tight spaces, as though he sees moves others can't. Dani Alves claimed, "When Neymar is lit, he makes two defenders disappear." Upon his PSG arrival, directors spoke of his mindset as obsessive, relentless. These voices give texture to what stats alone can't convey. Compare Neymar to Brazilian greats. Ronaldinho, the supreme entertainer, had peaks that entranced but faded. Rivaldo and Romario each had national dominance. Neymar's prime must be assessed against them. From Santos to Europe, he carried comparisons to Pelé, to R10. His prime, however brief, stood between global legends and national icons. That weight shaped perception of whether he truly reached that summit. The fan narrative followed him early. From street pitches to stadium roars, Neymar carried an aura. Every flick, every missed chance, every injury felt magnified. That spotlight could elevate or fracture. The label Next Pelé haunted him. Drop off a season, he's criticized. Shine bright. Some say he's too showy. The tension wove through his peaks and troughs. Injuries deserve a deeper look. Neymar has missed dozens upon dozens of matches. In some seasons, fewer than 2/3 of games are played. When you lose that many matches, rhythm wobbles, confidence sags, unity fractures, prime demands availability. The greatest players deliver when it matters. Neymar's absences altered his trajectory. Then the lens turns to fitness, recovery, and sports science. Ronaldo built a career on regeneration, diet, training, and rest. Messi too. Neymar's ability to sustain prime would require his body to be as smart as his feet. Reports from PSG training highlight work on muscle balance, anatomical corrections, and early comebacks. But all reactive. A true prime is proactive. Injury avoidance, smart load, longevity. Neymar's career leans reactive, hinting his prime was always under siege. Ballon d'Or debates haunt him. Despite dazzling seasons, Neymar never won. Why? Messi and Ronaldo dominated the award era. In 2015 and 2017, critics flagged his defensive work rate or off-ball effort. That contrast matters. If prime includes global validation, Neymar's never Ballon d'Or adds tension to his peak narrative. His playing style evolution is also revealing. Early Neymar was dribbler first, spectacle, lightning. As time passed, he learned spacing, movement, timing, and reading games. He transitioned from magician to orchestrator, but that transformation also dims the flash. Some fans mourn the old Neymar, others admire the evolved maestro. The media and image magnified him. Tattoos, hairstyles, and endorsements made him more visible than many. His public persona is intertwined with his football identity, but visibility invites scrutiny. Did critics judge his life more than his play? In football culture, performance, narrative, and brand entangle. Finally, prime versus mentality. Injuries matter, but so does the edge. Ronaldo had killer instinct. Messi had quiet consistency. Did Neymar ever consistently carry that ruthless edge? There were matches he drifted, moments his drive flickered. That gap between raw talent and sustained greatness may lie there. Yes, Neymar's prime existed. It was brilliantly imperfect, a narrow window of explosive potential. It is subtle, volatile, and emotionally charged. That fits a player whose craft always balanced art and risk. As 2026 approaches, the question shifts. Is his best behind him, or might his veteran form offer a new prime? At age 31 to 34, he may rediscover craft over speed, influence over brilliance. A second prime might come, not as flash, but as surgical, intelligent, impactful. His legacy won't be judged just by how high he flew, but how gracefully he evolves. Neymar's prime might never be pinned to one season. It's a constellation of moments across his journey, yet the years 2015 through 2017 shine brightest. And maybe, in ways unseen, that prime isn't over. So, tell me, when do you think Neymar was at his peak? 2015, 2017, or maybe it's still ahead? Drop your pick in the comments.